Hello Skillr Boxers. Today we are taking a look at an essential punch, one of the first punches to learn after the jab. It is the most precise power punch, as you can aim in sniper-like fashion exactly where to throw it. But to be able to master it, you have to learn the fundamentals behind the punch. Well, today we are going to break down exactly how to throw the perfect cross. Now, first of all, we have to establish what a perfect cross is. The perfect cross is one that is unexpected, that goes completely through the opponent, right on target, and without exposing you or leaving you unbalanced.
On the body, and that may be a very
Well, every single one of those key points have a technical aspect to it. So if you want to learn exactly what the technique behind those key points is, this breakdown is for you. Developing a high-level cross requires thousands of mindful reps. A great tool to drill techniques is Pro Boxing, the best training platform for drilling punches and high percentage combinations. App version 1.6 introduces a provisional training guide and adds 2 new Skillr modules to the collection. Get into fighting shape for the new year with a special lifetime offer. This deal expires February 1st. Download Pro Boxing today and dominate the opposition. So, let's start with the first point. Setting the cross. Now, setting the cross is the first step to be able to land it. It will be important for both position and for it to be unpredictable. First, we will have to understand distance and spatial awareness. That way, we will be able to reach exactly where we want with our cross. Now, a great measuring tool is the lead hand, especially the jab. That is why you often see the cross set up with a 1-2. The cross reaches a little bit further than the jab, so in order to land the cross, you will have to make sure you can land the jab, or at least get relatively close to the opponent with it.
Now, a lot of guys will say that you need to land the jab before you land the right hand, and that's almost true. You want to use the jab to get into range.
Lada's accuracy is...
Look, jab doesn't land. Look, my hand is here blocking him. This is how you block a jab. Now throw the right hand from right there. Boom. The right hand still lands.
Now this not only serves you to understand if you are at the right distance, but also to position yourself at the right distance.
If he throws a jab and I step back, he got to step in again before he throws that right hand to make sure he's in range. Now throw the 2 from there. See, he's got to step in again, because if I step back off the first jab, he's not in range to throw it.
It's not a move.
Oh!
The jab thrown with a step forward will allow you to get into position to land the cross. As mentioned, the jab is the most used tool, but it can be any other resource that allows you to get into position with the lead, such as a lead hook.
In his native Cuba, submit to the clinch.
Now, as mentioned, the lead hand not only will serve you to get into position, but to not make the cross as readable or predictable.
All of us in the Celtic tribes can be proud of him.
A jab can act as a blinder, not allowing the opponent to see the cross, or simply as a distraction to not make it as obvious.
Having success with the right hand to the
Difference against the incredible speed of Russell.
Now let's cover the second point. Turning the shot. When throwing the cross, rotation will be key, both to cover the distance the punch has to travel and to generate the most amount of force. Unless you are using it for different purposes, you should avoid throwing the cross straight, as it will often fall short and will not carry as much power.
You don't want to push the shot straight out like this. You want to turn the shot over. You want to rotate.
Instead, you should turn it over, rotating the shot at the last second as it moves forward. This way, you will get more hip rotation, more reach, and the shot can sneak through the guard better.
Canelo turned the right hand just to penetrate the gloves of Avni Yildirim. Making those shots, believe me.
Following the kinetic linking principle, the punch starts at the feet. The rear foot drives backwards into the ground, twisting through the hips, travelling out the arm and snaps into the opponent. Now, let's take a look at the last point. Remaining defensively responsible. This point covers the defensive aspects of the cross. In any situation, whether it's against the same stance or the opposite, after throwing a power punch, you have to be defensively responsible. There are different ways to do that. In the case of the cross, depending on each boxer's preferences, most will roll under after throwing it, or will take a quick step back. The main idea is to do a defensive move, whether that's covering up or getting out of punching range, in case the punch misses. You should avoid staying there, quote unquote, admiring your work after throwing a power punch, as that can turn bad real quick against a good counter puncher. Another way to remain defensively responsible while throwing the cross is to keep the head off the center line.
You gotta be over here. Right here. So he won't hit you back.
This way, you can put torque behind the punch while your head remains off the center line, away from danger. When facing the opposite stance, you will have to take the foot position into account. Usually, you will aim for outside foot position, as that way your head is both off the center line and your cross is perfectly aligned with the opponent's head. But the cross can be landed from the inside foot position too. You will just have to understand the position.
The left. Got it! Right.
In this position, the cross is not aligned with the opponent's head, so you will have to posture much more to land it. It involves moving your head off the center line and rotating the hips much more, but it can be an effective way to catch the opponent off guard. Putting it all together, you have a perfect cross, setting the punch up with your lead hand and at the same time getting into position. Then rotating your whole body from your feet, legs, torso and shoulders to your arms to fully punch through, and turning the shot at the last second. And lastly, being defensively responsible, getting off punching range to avoid possible counters. But now, we would love to know your opinion on the comments. How do you like to set up your cross? And what do you do to remain defensively responsible? Let us know. And if the video was interesting, you can find more on our channel. And to your left, we have chosen a video that we thought you may like.